Now, an important implication of markets before the smoking ban were exerted had been the reaction of different businesses to cope in different ways. Owners with more smoking customers predicted losses more often than those with fewer smoking customers. And owners adjusted prices and wages and hours of operation and other business attributes in response to the bans. And it's not just a question of affecting public houses. In the UK, there's a long tradition of working men's clubs, where traditionally working men for a small fee could go and drink in a very social atmosphere and smoke. And I'll come to the equity aspects of this shortly. And also it had a very civilizing effect. Another area that again the smoking ban tends to discriminate against is working class women in the UK. And they tended to socialise in tombola or bingo halls. And these have been very adversely affected. Working men's clubs and bingo halls have been closing left, right and centre. The evidence from Scotland imposed a smoking ban 12 months before England, and a study of data collected from 1,500 pubs in Scotland and over 1,000 in northern England found that the Scottish ban led to a 10% decrease in sales and a 14% decrease in customers. Let me move on to the commercial costs of the smoking ban. The ban is not benign. It does impose costs on businesses. By giving you a few anecdotes, we can see how businesses have made adjustments. But they've not been free adjustments, free in the sense of costless. One German bar owner dealt with a ban on smoking by cutting holes in his walls so that customers could literally stick their heads outside and smoke cigarettes. Smokers provided with 3 holes, one each for their head and their 2 hands. Smoking customers were then free to stick their heads and hands out to enjoy their cigarette. The owner also mounted a curtain to protect smoking customers from the cold. And a letter appeared in the Daily Telegraph, a national newspaper in the UK, when a reader wrote in to say that he overheard at the bar of his local pub as he ordered a pint, "Well, I can stay here," where smokers were banned, "I can stay here to join the crowd. I can stay here and be bored, or go outside for some passive smoking and a chat." We left it together to join the crowd in the smoking shed, leaving the bar empty.
Ludicrous.
But there's two points to this. The fact that an owner of a pub finds it necessary to accommodate smoking customers in this manner strongly suggests that full enforcement of the ban would lower profits. And secondly, the costs associated with this circumvention of the ban should not be ignored when we examine the benefits and the costs of the ban. Now, as I've already said, in terms of equity, the smoking ban discriminates against the poor, certainly in the UK, through the working men's clubs and the working women in the tombola and bingo halls. And the working men's clubs were founded in 1862. And up in the north of England, where I come from, they are closely associated with the old declining industries of steel, shipbuilding, and coal. And it's easily forgotten that smoking is a socialising activity. Smoking culture is a socialising activity. And it's perhaps not a coincidence when smoking was at its peak in the middle of the last century, when about 75% of the adult population smoked, that social cohesion was at its strongest. Next, I'd like to measure the flawed research methods used by the advocates of prohibition. I've been saying that the economic theory predicts that bans relate to different effects on different businesses, thus leading to the research question: how many firms will gain, how many will lose, and how many are unaffected? But this isn't the question that's examined by researchers claiming that bans exert no harm. Most studies exert what's called a community effects methodology. It aggregates all businesses into one and then examines whether this aggregate has changed following the ban. So the examination becomes, do the aggregate sales or tax revenues rise, fall, or stay the same? And the studies routinely conclude that sales and tax revenues never fall, but rise or stay the same. Now, the problem with this methodology can be found by this analogy. If you were to take a class, if we were to take all the people sitting in this hall and weigh them, we'd come up with a figure. We could then take the same people and weigh them again in 6 months' time. We might get the same figure, the same aggregate weight. But some people will have put on weight, other people will have lost weight. But that's equivalent to some businesses doing well out of the smoking ban and other businesses not doing well. The market adjusts. In the paper, we raised the issue of whether the research on whether scientific research on alleged adverse health consequences of second-hand, whether this research is pure. Now, of course, the speakers prior to me have emphasised how research publication, and especially research publications that get prominence, all assert that passive smoking is harmful. But there is a well-known bias in medical publication that if you have researchers examining whether, let's say, drug A has an effect, let's say the true relationship is that drug A does not have an effect. You will get researchers who find, well, we took 2 control groups, we gave one the drug, the other, we gave them a placebo. At the end, we didn't find an effect. But statistically, in about 1 out of 20 research studies of this sort, one researcher might find that it does have an effect. In other words, you're finding a false positive result. Now, that rogue result will be the one that tends to get publicity and even publication. Very typically, a lot of the health effects, not only of alleged passive smoking, but many other things, are the result of these, what we call the bias against the null hypothesis. Because it's well known in medical literature, it's much more difficult to get a paper published, a piece of research published, if you are unable to show an effect. And in our paper, which can be accessed on the internet, we refer you to a contribution by Nielsen in a book called What Risk? Science, Politics and Public Health. And also we refer you to a book by John Bricknell entitled Wrong Number, where the statistical methods to which I've been referring are examined. The null hypothesis applies. Siegel